Hi guys, welcome back. So if you looked at property prices lately and wondered how can I afford a home, I'd like to talk to you about a different option, living on a boat. Some of these boats behind me are selling for 70,000. I wanted to ask the question, can you live on a boat? What does it cost to live on a boat compared to a waterfront apartment? Come with me and let's see. The median house price in Mindarie sits at $1.3 million. These beachside apartments behind me have a couple listed for $1.8 million. How does that compare to the cost of a boat? That sounds like a lot of boat to me. Let's check it out. Now compare that to the price of boats. You can buy a nice boat between 40 and 70,000 Australian dollars. So buying the boat is only part of the picture. You need somewhere to keep it. So your marina costs, your pen fees, your electricity, your water, your insurance, your maintenance costs, they all add up. But there is a big difference between those costs. So let's see what they look like. So what does $40,000 get you for a boat in WA? Let's have a look. Okay, so at $40,000, things start getting interesting. So what does around $40,000 actually get you? Well, you might be surprised. At this price point, you're already finding boats with separate cabins, a galley, a toilet, and enough space for weekends away, or even longer stays if you're prepared to live a little more simply. So this is the Sea Ray 270 Sundancer, and this one has had a really impressive refit. Inside you'll find modern upholstery, updated flooring, refreshed cabinetry and electronics that bring the boat right up to date. At around 27 feet, it offers a surprisingly spacious cabin, making it a great option for weekends, away or even extended stays on the water. So we've looked at 40,000, let's look at 50,000, pushing the budget up a little bit, let's see what it does. Now if your budget can go to 50,000, the options start becoming even more appealing. Boats in this range are often in better condition, with more modern interiors, improved layouts and extra comfort. It's another step towards something that could genuinely suit extended time aboard, while still costing only a fraction of the price of a typical house in Perth. This Sea Ray has been repowered with a Mercury 6.2 litre, 350 horsepower V8 for modern performance. So we've looked at 40,000, we looked at 50,000. What can you get for 70,000? Let's check them out. And if you can push it to 70,000, this is where things get really interesting. At around $70,000, you're looking at boats that can feel surprisingly spacious. Many offer generous cabins, practical galleys, enclosed bathrooms, and comfortable living areas. They're still a long way from a traditional home, but they show just how much lifestyle you can buy for a fraction of the cost of $1 million property. Of course, buying the boat is only part of the equation. The next question is, can you actually live on one in Western Australia? Let's check out the regulations. One of the bigger questions is, can you actually legally live on your boat in WA? Well, that kind of depends on where you are and how long you stay there for. Let's have a look at what the rules say. Now, these are the regulations that I've identified for Western Australia. Each state in Australia has their own liveaboard policy, so definitely check it out first. Now, if you're thinking about living on a boat in WA, it's not quite as simple as just moving aboard. The Department of Transport allows overnight stays under your normal pen licence, but anything beyond that requires approval. Liveaboard applications are assessed individually, spaces are limited, and in most marinas they generally won't exceed around 10% of available pens. So, which marinas in Perth actually allow people to live aboard? Hillary's Boat Harbour is one of the Department of Transport's largest public marinas in Western Australia. It has around 410 boat pens, with sizes ranging from 10 metres right up to 33 metres, including dedicated catamaran pens and alongside berths, making it suitable for everything from trailer boats through to much larger cruisers. The marina also provides fuel, secure access, CCTV, power, water, toilets and hot showers for pen holders. Like all the Department of Transport marinas, fees are charged per metre. If you rent a floating pen with a walkway, you're charged on the length of the pen itself. If you're using a long side berth, the fee is based on the length of your vessel, making the pricing fair across different boat sizes. For From the Department of Transport marinas like Hillary's to private marinas such as Fremantle Sailing Club, there are liveaboard options available, but they're all a little different. So who might this suit? Retirees, single people, people downsizing, or people that spend quite a bit of time away from home. Would I sell my home and move on to Chillaxin? No. But having done the research, it's made it very obvious there are alternatives out there for people to consider. You don't have to spend millions of dollars to live next to the ocean when you can spend a fraction of the price and live on the ocean. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate your time. If you've got any comments around the whole liveaboard subject in WA, drop a comment. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and hit the like button please to help grow the channel. I just want to say thanks to everyone who's watching. The channel is growing and I really appreciate your effort. So until next time, take care, stay safe. Bye.